Okay, welcome back with me again, Nada Zahira Yahya with student ID number 2500004005. And here's the another part of the previous news reading, which is titled Many Ukrainian soldiers outraged over removal of defense minister, troops tell BBC, by Paul Adams. I'm going to read the rest of it, and then if it's not 10 minutes yet, then I'm going to read another news. Okay. The Ministry of Defense is a swamp, Stupak said. It's made of very solid material and it's very difficult to establish new technologies because lots of people have been there for decades and they don't share his vision of digitalizations. The concern among many observers is that Fedorov's departure will bring his ambitious reform and innovation program to a screeching halt, despite Zelensky's assurances that nothing will change. With autumn and winter on the horizon and Russia likely to launch yet another assault on Ukraine's battered energy grid, some fear that the country will be more vulnerable. I'm very upset that all this progress, which was built by Fedorov, will be just destroyed and reversed in one of the most critical periods of the war. Daria Kalenyuk, Executive Director of Ukraine's Anti-Corruption Action Center, said. Kalenyuk says the crisis also reflects badly on Ukraine's leader. It sends a very bad signal, she said. President Zelensky doesn't care what the people of Ukraine think, and he's also not accepting inside his team people with legitimacy, subjectivity, who are able to initiate solutions and result. That is very destructive for Ukraine. The president's record of sacking of sidelining effective or popular officials has led some to accuse him of increasingly dictatorial behavior. He can't stand the people who don't admire him, Stupak said. The irony, Stupak said, is that Zelensky is starting to behave like the sort of politician he used to lampoon, I don't know, when he was still a comedian. He's collected all the factors which were the subject for his jokes. Maybe it's because he's been in his position for 7 years. To activists like Kalenyuk, the sight of thousands of young people out on the street also brings on a strong sense of déjà vu. It's been almost exactly a year since people gathered in huge numbers to demand that Zelensky veto a bill stripping two of Ukraine's anti-corruption bodies of their powers. The protest, the first anti-government demonstration since Russia's full-scale invasion, succeeded. Zelensky announced a new draft law restoring the independence of the two organizations. Today's protesters are hoping for a similar result, even though the president has already appointed an interim minister, the current acting head of the Security Service of Ukraine, Yevgeny Kamara. But while the current protests are so far smaller in scale, Kalenyuk said the stakes are much higher. These events are even more dangerous because they directly impact our war effort, she said. A number of the president's critics point to the fact that despite Fedorov's widely praised loyalty and success, Zelensky has seen fit to dispose of him. He can become a key architect of the strategy of the technological victory over the enemy. Maria Berlinska, founder of an NGO which trains volunteers in aerial reconnaissance, wrote in a post on Facebook, "No matter how cool you are, it will not help you. At some point, you will simply be removed from the field." And that is the rest from the previous news. And I'm going to read another news since it's not 10 minutes yet. And it's going to be about Russian or Ukrainian for sure, since it's have to be related, in my opinion. Okay, I'm going to read about Ukrainian drones hit more sites of Russian online retailer Wildberries. Oh my god, it's so fresh. It is published 31 minutes ago by Dan Sales. Ukrainian drones have hit warehouses belonging to Russia's biggest online retailer again, injuring 15 people, according to the company's founder and regional governors. Logistic hubs run by Wildberries in two southwest cities were impacted by overnight attacks and workers were evacuated, the founder said. It is the second time Ukraine has attacked the firm's facilities in 4 days, with warehouses in Tambov and Elektrostol hit on Saturday, killing 8 people. Oh my god. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Wednesday that Ukraine had hit logistics hubs in the Krasnodar and Stavropol regions involved in providing the Russian army with drone components, navigation equipment and energy. Wildberries founder Tatiana Kim confirmed the attacks on 2 logistics centers in Krasnodar and Nevinomysk in the Stavropol region. There are no words to describe all the feelings and emotion caused by the attacks on ordinary people, on our employees, on us who are simply doing our jobs, she wrote on Telegram. But these situations demonstrate the most important thing. We must continue to do what we do for the benefit of people. 5 people were hurt in a warehouse complex on the outskirts of Nevinomysk, Governor Vladimir Vladimirov said, with everyone receiving outpatient treatment. In Krasnodar, 10 people were injured in an attack on a warehouse complex. With 3 in serious conditions, the region's governor Veniamin Kondratyev said. Footage of both warehouses verified by BBC Verify shows fire in the aftermath of the attacks. Video from Krasnodar captures an enormous column of black smoke rising from the structures as flames lead upwards. Nevinomysk footage shows some people milling around outside as fireballs erupt in smoke streaming from the building. Krasnodar's governor said the region was hit by a massive attack last night, with drone debris also hitting the grounds of a company in Armavir and killing one employee. The city administration reported that an oil depot was struck, causing a fire. Drone fragments also hit 2 apartment buildings in Krasnodar and 2 homes in the village of Dinskaya, Kondratyev said. There were no injuries. Gladly. Zelensky said Ukraine has struck an oil depot as well as tanker and 4 cargo ships of the Russian Shadow Fleet in the waters of the Sea of Azov and Black Sea. Russia has been operating Shadow's fleet to evade international sanctions imposed on its oil export after its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. I can see the 2 trucks from the Wildberries. The overnight strikes marked the second targeting of Wildberries facilities in less than a week. Serhiy Kuzan, chairman of the Ukrainian Security and Cooperation Center, has previously told BBC the Wildberries website had been used by Russian volunteers to buy military equipment. The primary rationale for striking Wildberries warehouses is to disrupt Russian logistics and the supply of dual-use goods, critical electronics, sanctioned goods and the like to the Russian army and Russian arms manufacturers, he said. The collateral damage from such strikes could also have a serious impact on the Russian economy, as well as the psychological effect on Russian society and, likely, on the continued support for the war. And that's all from this news about Ukrainian and Russian. Sorry for making a lot of messes, misspelled, mispronounced. And that's all for this video. See you in my next video. Goodbye.